disgruntledduck.com.
So welcome again. This one, this time on the bench, got the Russian T-62 tank. I'm hoping this ain't going to be too much of a complex build. I've got 3 sprues of parts here. One's mostly wheels. Should be quite a nice little afternoon build, I'm hoping. And I'm hoping nothing's going to go terribly wrong. A lot of the details are already set on the vehicle. We're going to get rid of that shovel, that's for sure, because I definitely don't like that set there. I'm going to stick another one. I've got a few spare ones lying around. But yeah, this should be pretty nice, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Right, so to get rid of that shovel, I've got this little flat blade for the old scalpel. So I'm just generally going along like this, gently scraping off layer by layer until I'm right down to the base. So that was going actually not too bad. I was starting to scrape off that shovel, but then blade snapped. So back to drawing board and see what we're going to do with this one. Right, so in the end, I've gone over at the multi-tool. It's taken out a bit more than I wanted to. That was even in the lowest setting. So I'm going to just fill that in with a bit of plastic, what is this, plastic putty. Smooth that off and then get back on it. So that now looks filled in, smoothed off a lot better, so we can start getting on with the main work on the tank. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. It's taken a couple of hours to set up and to sand down, but yeah, I think it's worth it, definitely. So I'm not following the instructions as per se on this one. What I've done is I've gone around, fitted on all the storage units on the side of the top of the hull. I fit in the mesh at the back, so I'm doing all these larger parts before I start getting onto some of the more detailed parts like the lights and the smaller parts at the front. Just so I don't break anything off really. But so far this has been really nice and easy build, simple as anything and really quite quick. No complaints at all. So that's the whole of the hull, the top hull done anyway. Right, what I want to do is paint the underneath of this. I've got some, where is it? I've got this little piece here. No, that's not the one, it's on here. So I want to paint that some gunmetal, silverish kind of colour. Fit it in underneath there. Then mask these guys off, ready for painting, so it's set up underneath. Make these two together, top and the bottom. Yeah, and then work on the turret. So yeah, this is going really nice. Still not as happy as I could be where I shaved that spade off, but the rest of the model's looking alright, and hopefully it's not going to be too noticeable when it's finished. So just fitting on the turret, well, fitting the turret together. This is probably one of the cleanest ones I've had. This is the Tamiya one, and that's really gone together nicely. There's going to be hardly any sanding and no filling at all on that. So yeah, that's really quite a nice one. I'm quite happy with that. So the barrel's coming together, giving it a nice sand down. So it's looking pretty smooth at the moment. Yeah, that's looking alright. The turret's coming together. Nice and simple. Looks alright. So nothing really to write home about. I've got to fit the handrails, which I'm happy. With this being a Tamiya kit, I've got some little marks there that they slot into. So yeah, that's nearly done. We're actually moving along a lot faster on this one than I thought we would. I'm actually really happy with how this build's gone. So apart from that little hiccup with the old spade, everything's gone pretty smoothly. So I've masked off the grills on the back, waiting to paint this little guy and fit that in before we go into the main bit of painting. I've got my separate bits here. I want to undercoat these separately and paint them because I think there's still going to be a little bit of sanding needed around these joints to make these look a bit nicer. The gun's done, fitted on the turret, focus in. Turret's come up nicely. I've not glued the gun in yet. I'm going to take that off and then glue it separate and then paint it separately. Wheels are all here, fitted what I can do. I'm going to paint these up, paint the road tyres on, or the rubber onto them, and then glue them together. But that's about it. It's gone really nicely so far. Hopefully the painting process ain't going to be too bad on this one. So yeah, that's going to be the next thing we're up to. So right, I want to try something a little bit different with this one. So if you can see, I've tried a bit of shading with the airbrush. So I've gone with a lighter colour afterwards. Then I want to do a filter when that's finished, to try and just blend it all in really softly, but I'm liking the effect it's giving. You can't see it as much on the top of the turret, but to the naked eye it doesn't look too bad. A little bit of highlight on the wheels as well. So I think it's going to be varnish on this next. Fit the wheels together, varnish this, and then have a little play with some washes and filters. So I've decided, I've got this guy painted up. It looks pretty nice actually. So what I'm going to do, I don't want to do the same thing on every model at the minute, so I'm going to give it a wash afterwards, but I want to practice some dry brushing on this guy. I've started, if you can see on there, that's looking alright. So yeah, I'm going to crack on with this one now, and well, I've got the tracks done already, so they've been dry brushed up. Glued, want to varnish them, fit all the wheels on, and then we're going to get to work and have some fun with it. So there we go, wheels, tracks fitted all the parts onto the turret. So a quick lick of varnish and then we can get onto some weathering. So I've given it a coat of varnish now, a coat of gloss varnish. Now the thing is, I want to keep this one looking quite new, so I've dug through the old decals, and there's these ones for parade tanks. So I've stuck them on, applied a bit of the old decal solution, so I'm letting them thin down a bit. And yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So I think I'm going to do that little bit of weathering, and then I'm thinking maybe a satin varnish to finish this, so it's got that quite new and fresh look. So I've glossed over the decal now. Tank's looking good. I'm going to go over, I've got some, what have I got today? I've got quite a dark one, burnt umber, made up a little wash. So I'm going to go over this, get those lines defined a little bit, and yeah, get this weathering done. It's going to be quite clean all in all, so I don't want it to be, I don't want to go too rough with the weathering. I want to keep it quite neat into all the lines and just refine them a little bit. So yeah, we'll have a look in a minute. So right, this is where I'm at now. Had a really light wash, cleaned it all up. To be honest, I'm liking this a lot as it is. I don't really think, so I was going to dry brush it, but I'm actually quite happy with how it looks at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a quick varnish, just dull it down a little bit, not too much, and have another look at it afterwards and see if I want to go back and do anything, because I don't think that's too bad actually. So I know I was going to do some highlights on this, but do you know what, I'm actually quite happy with this as it is. As it's going to be something that's going to be on parade, I think I'm going to keep this one and call it done as it is. So yeah, I think this one's done, so just time to get some pictures of it.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up and leave a comment.